Is he a learner? What does he learn? When does he learn? How does he learn? Why does he learn? Yes, he is a learner. He learns English. He learns in the afternoon. He learns very well. He learns to improve his general knowledge. Is he a swimmer? What does he swim for? When does he swim? How does he swim? Why does he swim? Yes, he is a swimmer. He swims for competition. He swims at night. He swims carefully. He swims in the morning.
Is he a reader? Yes, he is. He a reader? What does he read? When does he read? How does he read? Why does he read? Yes, he is a reader. He reads a book. He reads in the morning. He reads carefully because it is important.
Is he a learner? What does he learn? When does he learn? How does he learn? Why does he learn? Answers. Yes, he is a learner. He learns his lesson. He learns in the morning. He learns attentively. He learns because he is a test tomorrow.
Is he a pilot? Yes, he is a pilot. What does he fly? Is he a pilot? What does he fly? When does he fly? How does he fly? Why does he fly? Yes, he is a pilot. He flies a plane. He flies in the morning. He flies because carefully. He flies because he loves traveling. Thank you.
Is a reader. What does he read? When does he read? How does he read? Why does he read? Yes, he is a reader. He reads a book. He reads in the morning. He reads attentively because it is important.
Is he a pilot? What does he fly? When does he fly? How does he fly? Why does he fly? Yes, he's a pilot. He flies a plane. He flies in the morning. He flies carefully. He flies because it's his job. Thank you.
Is he a driver? What does he drive? When does he drive? How does he drive? Why does he drive? Yes, he is a driver. He drives a car. He drives in the evening. He drives very carefully. He drives because it is her job.
Is he a driver? Yes, he's a driver. What does he drive? He drives a car. When does he drive? He drives in the night. How does he drive? He drives carefully. Why does he drive? Because he is a driver. Thank you. Is he a teacher? What does he teach? When does he teach? How does he teach? Why does he teach? Yes, he is a teacher. He teaches science. He teaches in the morning. He teaches perfectly. He teaches because it's his profession.
Is he a player? What does he play? When does he play? How does he play? And why does he play? Yes, he is a player. He plays football. He plays in the morning. He plays to keep his body fit. He plays carefully.
Is he a teacher? What does he teach? When does he teach? How does he teach? Why does he teach? Yes, he's a teacher. He teaches English. He teaches in the afternoon. He teaches carefully. He teaches because he is professional.
Is he a pilot? What does he fly? When does he fly? How does he fly? Why does he fly? Yes, he is a pilot. He flies a plane. He flies in afternoon. He flies quickly. He flies because it is his job.
Is he a pilot? What does he fly? When does he fly? How does he fly? Why does he fly? Yes, he is a pilot. Yes, he is a pilot. He flies plane. He flies in the afternoon. He flies because it is his job.
Is he a driver? What does he driver? When does he driver? How does he driver? Why does he driver? Yes, he is a driver. He drives in the afternoon. He drives quickly. He drives because he is a driver. Thank you. Is he a pilot? What does he fly? When does he fly? Why does he fly? How does he fly? Yes, he is a pilot. He fly a plane. He fly in the afternoon. He fly so carefully. He fly to love travel. Thank you.
Is he a driver? When does he drive? How does he drive? Is he a driver? When does he drive? What does he drive? When does he drive? Yes, he drive. Yes, he drive. He drive in a car. He drive at night. Is he a driver? What does he drive? When does he drive? How does he drive? Where does he drive? Yes, he is a driver. Yes, he is a driver. He drives a car. He drives at night. He drives carefully. loves to drive. Thank you. Is he a pilot? What does he fly? When does he fly? How does he fly? Why does he fly? Yes, he is a pilot. He flies a plane. He flies in the evening. He flies carefully. He flies. He flies because he's beauty.
Is he a driver? What does he drive? When does he drive? How does he drive? Why does he drive? Yes, he is a driver. He drives a car. He drives at night. He drives slowly. He drives because he's a driver.